Welcome back, trainers. So we're going to be taking a look at some Tempest practice rounds here. So we have Dugong, Double Legacy, Ice Shard, and Ice Wind going up against that nasty Razor Leaf Tropius. Let's see who can take the W here going between these two. That is going to be my first shield there. That Razor Leaf is doing massive damage, and I do have an Ice Wind, and I am able to beat that Tropius. So that is something to take note of. Yes, it's going to be a Double Legacy, but if you can get your hands on one, it will serve you quite well for this tournament. Pretty happy with the performance going up against several other Pokemon too. So we have quite a few battles ahead of us here. So let's see what we have going on. Testing out, not so many. Haven't purchased secondary moves for a lot of these Pokemon, as well as I haven't even TM'd them. That Plusle is sitting at like 1200 CP. A few hundred is, make a little bit of a difference, but yeah, Plusle is also a beast. Just take note of that as well. Because you're going to have those Skarmorys. It does quite well going up against it. That flying move, it's not going to be super effective towards the Plusle being electric type, and that Steel Wing is not going to be doing much damage either. So that Alola Ninetales is going to be finished off by the Skarmory here, and we're going to go ahead and go into the next one. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to record the beginning, but this is going to be King. I will be leaving a link to his Twitter in the description. You should go check him out. He is a pro. So this was a fantastic battle here. Wanted to test my Pokemon up against him to see how well I could perform, seeing that he's doing this every day. And this is probably my, 10th practice round between all kinds of different people here. And this is my first round going up against him. So he has his Quagsire. He's going to be doing Stone Edge. I knew that was probably coming, so I definitely shield up, being super effective on my end. And we're going to take the hit now. I don't want to burn off both my shields. I knew I was going to be able to survive this somewhat and get off another Ice Wind, which is going to be doing a decent amount of damage to that Quagsire there. And I should have some leeway for the next Pokemon unless he throws it out and I just fall immediately, which is okay. So a Tropius, so I'm able to get off just a bit of damage there, and I'm deciding what do I want to bring in. Definitely not Rhyperior. So we're going to go ahead and go with the Lugia. Dragon Tail, Sky Attack, and Hydro Pump there. Quite the invested Pokemon. So this is something I wanted to see for a long time here. My Lugia going up against an Altaria, but I wanted to retreat just for now. Bring in my Rhyperior with that Smackdown, dealing super effective damage. And we're going to go ahead and take that Dragon Pulse, doing quite a bit to that Rhyperior here. And it is digging into that Altaria itself, though. We're going to go ahead and bait that shield. Or, I don't know, maybe he knew Surf was coming and he just shielded anyway to preserve that Altaria's Dragon Breath of Madness. Now we're going to go ahead and bring in Lugia and immediately hit that Sky Attack there under the ground. Okay. Yeah, that shiny Lugia is just amazing. I know I said I don't use legendaries, but this is a special case for the Tempest Cup, and I made it into the Great League with a shiny. Come on. Hitting up another Sky Attack here onto that Altaria and finishing it off. Feeling pretty good about this. Now we're going to have the Tropius coming in here, and it's looking pretty good. I still have one shield left, so we're going to go ahead and block this for sure. And at this point, I was thinking, did I actually beat him? Let's go. Can I get this Sky Attack off and see if we can finish off that Tropius? I knew it wasn't going to get defeated here, but it would have a little health. Let's see if I can finish it off with the Dragon Tail. Let's go. Come on. Are we going to be able to do it before he gets to his charge move? I have my Sky Attack. It's not going. Ah, his went off. So that was a great game, King. Good stuff. I look forward to battling you again in the future. Down goes my shiny Lugia. That Tropius is just nasty. Alright, going up against Dark here. One of my sparring buddies that you may have seen from time to time. So he's starting it off with the Dragonite, Dragon Breath, and Dragon Claw. At this point, he was charging it up. I knew it. I had to get that Swampert out of there because the Surf was going to do nothing. Same with the Quick Attack. Ground wasn't doing anything. Bringing in Lugia with Dragon Tail, doing super effective damage. And I shielded the first one, and like I said, I knew he was holding off because I've battled him before, this Dragonite, and I already knew he had that combination of madness. So I could have bring in my Dugong, but I wanted to kind of preserve its health because that Dragon Breath will eat into pretty much anything. So he's bringing in the Marsh Stomp here, which is a great choice to go with. And we're going to go ahead and hit up that Ice Wind here and just deal a decent amount of damage there. Now we'll be taking the Mud Bomb. And it, Dugong has a fairly good amount of tankiness to it, so I really lucked out not powering this up past the 1500 marker back in the day and holding on to it and not just transferring it. It's also 100, so yeah, you know, sometimes you transfer hundreds, you don't realize it. Good thing I looked at it back in the day. So he is bringing in that Charizard. We do have Swampert, able to get that Surf off extremely fast and finish off the Charizard there, and that was a good game. So Marshtomp is looking okay. You have to look out for the grass types because you will be going down extremely fast. Those Tropius as well as the Abomasnows will take you out. Now, we've seen this before, huh? Taking it back to the Boulder Cup days, all right? So we already know what is going to win this matchup if I do shield as well. I'm going to go ahead and shield for sure here. So he shielded one of my Sky Attacks, and we're going to go ahead and get off another one here. Pretty sure he's not going to shield. He wants to preserve that last one there. In comes the Lapis with Water Gun. Fairly good option. Is dealing a lot of damage with that quick move for sure. I have one of those personally myself. I haven't purchased a secondary move yet because I need to get out there and grind. Don't want to get past the 5 million. Bringing in Rhyperior with Smackdown. Going to definitely shield this up because I want to survive. I do have that nice energy going there. And I'm just going to go ahead and go with Surf to maybe possibly bait his shield out like that. Or he's just preserving his health. It's the last Pokemon. You want to use your shield no matter what anyways. And he's going to be getting off that Dragon Claw onto my Lapis. And another one. Am I going to be able to get off mine? Let's go Dragon Pulse. Got to it right before I fainted. And that's going to be game. And good game. So he did message me and say that he was receiving some lag on his end when he was trying to switch. So take note of that as well. I was putting together my last tournament because I did go to one yesterday. And I placed third. I was going to have it up this morning, but the video just does not want to cooperate. So, yeah, we'll see what we can do with that. Anyways, what happened at the tournament was a whole lot of lag. A whole bunch of lag for everybody. It was fun. I'm not complaining. No excuses or anything. I'm just saying we had to literally restart matches. It was absolutely crazy. And we came to the conclusion it was the game and not our services. So Plusle here, as you can see, didn't switch out because it was holding up quite nicely going up against that Raichu there. In comes the Dugong. And both of my Pokemon were going to be weak to electric. So I just kind of wanted to stay where I was at. Now we have the Skarmory here doing Sky Attack. Dugong holding on pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and switch and hold on to that energy with the Dugong, with the Charizard. Trying to get super effective, but he switches into the Lapis. Going to hit up that Blast Burn because it will still do a decent amount of damage, but he knows better because he uses Charizard as well. I'm going to go ahead and get off of that Dragon Claw right before I'm defeated there. In comes my Dugong, and I decide to just take the hit. I don't know why I did that. Last Pokemon, I should have shielded that, but that's okay. I already knew I basically lost this round. Going up against a Lapis with 2 ice moves is not looking good because the thing is super tanky and a great option for this Tempest Cup. But the Dugong holding on quite nice, being a water type, and down I go, and good game. Into the next one. Quite a few rounds with him here, so we played for about 45 minutes or so. We have Lapis versus Dragonite. Not a good matchup with that Water Gun because it's taking reduced damage. But the Dragon Breath, as you can see, was, you know, about even with the Lapis' tankiness. But the Dragon Claw coming in too quick for me to keep up. So I'm going to have to switch into Abomasnow, doing super effective damage. He brings in the Marshtomp. I do have Energy Ball coverage for that end as well. And this Marshtomp can't handle the Abomasnow. If I had Razor Leaf, it would have been game over real quick. Haven't switched it up. Need to test it out as well. I've seen the performance on other players, and it works just great. He is out of shield, so I'm going to go fit and finish off that Marshtomp with one Energy Ball there. And we have a Dragonite, and it just goes down extremely quick. I don't even see when it went down, but it got defeated by the Powder Snow. So we're going to hit up that Energy Ball and doing quite a bit of damage to that Plusle. But don't, you know, let the Plusle's, you know, damage right there fool you because the thing is pretty nice to use for sure. Spark and Discharge work fantastic. As you're going to see, it put on quite a bit of damage onto that Lugia there. Lugia came in and just did like 2 hits. Now we have Rhyperior going up against Charizard. This is just going to eat right through it, and you need to watch out for this. If you're going to be using Charizard, in comes the Dragonite, and it's just tearing through these flying type Pokemon, and down it goes. Crazy. And then we have the Plusle here. So this is something you need to take note of. This cup, you can get extremely walled by certain Pokemon if you have that lineup. But these are practice rounds, and that is another good game. Rhyperior, jeez, taking the win on that. In comes the Dugong up against the Lapis here. And this was funny because we're both charging up. As you're going to see here, he's just going to town with that water gun. And with my quick move and I retreat to hold on to the energy, he's retreating too. Probably has, I don't know, 2 charges ready to go. Probably 1.5. Going to hit up that energy ball on the Charizard because there's nothing else I can do. I'm locked in. I have a Charizard or Dugong to pick, so I go in with the Dugong Ice Wind. Do have a couple of those set up, and we're going to go ahead and burn his shields here. And it's doing a pretty good amount of damage. I am going to go ahead and shield because I do want to preserve my Dugong for a little bit longer. And I was hoping I was going to be able to get to its end before I had to charge, but unfortunately not. And now we have the Plusle here, and it's going to just take me out super effective. The Dugong did its job though. And I do have one more shield, and we should be not looking too great, right? Because he still has another Pokemon, and I got a little greedy there. I don't know what I was doing. I should have just went for my Blast Burn, but hey, I'm even considering, I don't know, purchasing a secondary move. I don't think it's necessary, but hey, having a normal type move might just help you when you're going up against something that's not very effective, like a Dragonite, for instance. But if you get locked in with a Rhyperior like this, normal moves or electric moves not very effective, so you better look out. Rhyperior doing work yet again. This thing is nasty. It does have hazards to look out for, like grass, so Tropius will eat it up for sure, but you will be doing a decent amount of damage if you do have Rock Throw. Gonna just go ahead and spam that Surf as much as I can to get that Plusle out of here. I'm still on my first Pokemon. Gonna go ahead and shield up because I just want it to work its way all the way through this match, and down it goes. So another good game. Now we're going to start off with Swampert going up against Skarmory. Felt very comfortable here because I knew I was going to be able to get to those surfs a lot quicker than its Sky Attack. And I definitely do not have a problem using the first shield here because we will be able to get to the surfs quicker. And that will make up for the shield usage there. So he does decide to not shield. He still has 2 of them. And I am going to shield this and take some risks here by just using my quick move so I can get as many surfs off onto that next Pokemon. So we're going to go ahead and hit up that first one there onto the Marsh Stomp, and then hit up the second one and see if we can get a third one here. And we do. Third one finally. And there we go. Good amount of health onto that Marsh Stomp. No more shields on both of our ends. Deciding what I want to use. Going in with the Alolan Ninetales here with that Psyshock. Pretty good neutral damage, and it charges fairly quick. He does bring in the Charizard, so I'm still gonna go ahead and hit up the Psyshock there. And I decide to just stay in here because there's, I mean, might as well. All right, I have the Lugia preserved away. Now let's go ahead and see what we can do here. If we can pull the win off. He does go for the Blast Burn, does quite a bit of damage here. I'm going to hit up that Sky Attack, or not. He hits me with the Surf right away. Down goes my Lugia. Alright, so into the next match. Skarmory versus Skarmory. Yep, we know what this looks like. So whoever gets to that Sky Attack first is going to pretty much have the upper hand. I get there. Very nice. And you don't really want to shield when you're in this position. Okay, the Sky Attack's not doing very much damage. I mean, you could, you know, it depends on what strategy you're trying to go with. But for me personally, maybe if you had just like a sliver of health and a Sky Attack ready to go, I suppose that would be a good time to use your shield and able to get there again. As you can see, he's definitely not using his shield, so he's feeling pretty comfortable at this point, bringing in the Dragonite, finishing off my Skarmory. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Dugong here, and he's going to have that Dragon Claw ready to go. Going to go ahead and shield it up because it does do a good amount of damage. Now he does bring in the Lapis, and here comes some lag. Alright, now we're just kind of sitting there. He attacks. I could continuously attack, but I kind of just wanted to stay still for a moment until he actually moved. And going to go ahead and go with that discharge here. I decided to shield because I am in a comfortable position and able to get those discharges off fairly quick for super effective damage. Now if we can just get to it one more time, we'll be looking great. Perfect. Down goes that Lapis there. In a great position. In comes the Dragonite. And I have a Dugong ready to go with Ice Wind, and there's the win. Alrighty. Dugong yet again helping me out. Perfect. Happy I'm able to actually use this for something. That's why these cups are just so amazing, right? It's bringing out the meta for each type, and you're able to use things that you've never used before. So I'm starting it off with the Abomasnow Powdered Snow. Still haven't switched it up against that Marsh Stomp. He better switch fairly quick, otherwise he's gonna definitely have to use his shield. In comes the Charizard, and I am going to bring out the Rhyperior, of course. because it takes the Charizard out extremely quick, being both flying and fire types. With that rock move, super effective to both those typings. In comes the Marsh Stomp. I decide to just hang out here. Well, I don't think I could switch, actually. I think I'm locked in. Definitely. Oh, no, I'm not. Definitely going to shield that up, though, because it does a lot of damage. And here we go. Finishing. Not finishing. I thought I was going to take him out. And, yeah, he's going to deal that super effective. In comes the Plusle, and I'm walled. So there you have it, trainers. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.